We're going to make some cemetery planters. About 10 years ago, we made some piece of pipe, a pipe flange, and a pot. But these pots are all starting to go bad. These are really quite rusted in there, so we're going to try something different. Our old maple syrup pails for the planter.
Didn't just quite go through all the way.
Well, we got enough without that. I'm only going to do 4. Okay, so what we have here is flanges. These are ones from Amazon, only 3. They're a little smaller. We got a bunch of pipes. Okay, they're in the house, right by the inside door. And they got a bunch of nuts, bolts, and washers, and a rickety table. First, we're going to mark on the bottom of the pail. There's rings on it, so I centered. We're going to put 3 holes in it. We got some pipe off of Amazon too. Okay. Since this table is pretty weak, so I got the 3 holes in it. Instead of just drilling, I'm going to try to put I can punch right through with this. That hole isn't big enough, so let's see, we'll drill it out to the size of our bolts. Pretty thin. So then what we're going to do is on the inside, we're going to shove some bolts through. This time we're going to put the nut on the bottom. So it rusts. Oh, wait a minute, that goes on, yeah. That's pretty dumb. We're going to put it on this side. Yeah, and then we'll put let's try to put the bolt through and this way.
Pointing down?
Yeah, down through. See if we can. So we just get them through the pail first. Whoops, that's that one. Gotta tip the pail over a little bit. Okay, now we'll put this on. And then I guess we don't need. Well, we're going to put washers on the inside.
Okay.
To strengthen the bottom of the pail, we're going to put a washer and then the bolt. So we'll get there.
Whoopsies.
These are probably 75-year-old or more maple syrup buckets. They're just galvanized buckets, but we don't use those anymore. We use plastic. This is a large one, a 14 quart. I've got some that are as small as 10 quart. Okay, so then this goes on. And then, so when I take these apart in 25 years, they shouldn't be as rusty because oh, that's the wrong size nut. There goes a sandhill crane over. Now, okay, that's 2 sizes. Well, that wasn't too tight. I suppose at Menards somebody had thrown them in the wrong bin. So now what we have to do is tighten them up. I didn't have a wrench either. And then we take when we're done, we go to the cemetery and we drive in the pipe into the ground a foot.
Other side up, of course. You want the threaded side.
They're both threaded.
Oh, they're both threaded. Ah,
yeah, they're
nice.
both threaded. So, but we'll we won't use these to pound in because that'll ruin the threads, although we don't care, one end. Anyway, you pound them into the ground, but before you do that, you pound in another one into the ground and make the hole. I got dirt in that one already, I suppose. You gotta hold it still. And then I'll try to... There, I'm up to the pail. Now I have to tighten it up, and then we drive that in the ground, and we use that for a flower pot. I'm thinking about getting some stencils and painting some flowers on it or something, but I may not do anything. So there's one that just needs tightening up. Let's get a couple more.
Oh, get a wrench.
Get a wrench. Okay. So I'm going to replace, I think we have maybe 10 out, and I replaced something like 3 of them last year. And I'm going to do 4 this year. And actually I replaced 4 last year, I think, too. I think I'm going to do 4 this year. Oh, I don't need to outline them. I just need to center this. Put the holes. So I should do this assembly line version. The 3 holes. Another 14. They're pretty nice pails. You can sell them pretty good at a garage sale because they're kind of old and look quite nice. Plus new ones like this are expensive too. But pretty thin material. Up here in northwest Wisconsin, if you put real flowers in the flower pot, the deer will come right out in the cemetery and eat them, like geraniums or petunias. So we put in dwarf marigolds. They are pretty good. Deer will leave them alone. They also are pretty good for drought resistance, so you don't get back to the cemetery and water them. They generally hang in there between rains, and so...
Do you want to put a drainage hole in these or not?
A drainage hole? Oh, you know, you're right. I should put in the center, right down the pipe, a drainage hole, huh? Or I could put a couple others here. Actually, yeah. I'll put a couple of extra holes for drainage. Okay. So I'll have to do the one I already did. Kind of a shame ruining these nice pails. I bought them about 30 years ago, somewhere in the 1990s, and I used them quite a bit, but I ended up buying 5-gallon plastic buckets because they hold more. Ah, we can leave that for now. No, you don't have to take it out.
No, I was just trying to
tightening it up. Oh, okay. And I have to hit the drill on these. run from the top down, the washer, so I put a washer, these little bolts, then the drilled out pipe thread. I'm not sure what they call these. Face plates or. There. Hopefully the bottoms of these are stiff enough not to bend over too bad if the something bumps them, a deer comes up and rams them. I think there's, when you put pots in the cemetery, there is some kind of a water holding material you can add to the potting soil that will keep them from drying out. Pails we had, I think I paid $2 or $3 a piece for them. Maybe it was lower, but it was at least 30. Well, it was in the 1990s, I think. Maybe even late 80s.
Yeah, I was still pretty young when we went over to Anderson's.
They were getting rid of all their metal buckets and selling them, and they were going with pipelines, I think, or plastic buckets or something. Oh, that's it. That's the last one there. Huh?
Yep.
These flanges were pretty inexpensive. Can't remember exactly off of Amazon, but they're a little smaller than the old one we got, and these were 4 bolts. And I think this lasted probably at least 10 years, but look, this is one of the better ones. The other ones are much worse. Alright, so I got enough to do another 4 next year. The pipes were the most expensive. These 4-foot, half-inch diameter pipes, about $10, a little bit over $10 each. I think I bought 20 flanges because they had a deal on them. Amazon Prime, free delivery.
You compare that cost to what people pay to have those big planters delivered every year.
Yeah. And then somebody steals them from the cemetery. Can't steal these very easily. I don't have enough to make. I could make maybe one more if I... Yeah, one more I could make. I don't have a... Let's take apart that other pipe, which is a pain. I think I will be satisfied with putting 4 out this year. There's the parts. So now I have to put those someplace where I'll remember where they are. If I had a pipe shredder, I could go to the wrecking yard. They usually have chunks of pipe that people bring in. I could cut it and thread the end myself, but that was the expensive part. So altogether, I'd guess $1 for the flange, let's say 50 cents for the bolts, and the buckets are, well, I'm not going to count those because I've had them for a long time. All right, that's it.